So the first one's called Rock the Boat. Um, got lots of waves going on here. So I'm just rocking her shoulders down. Just gonna sit down. Why not? Rocking her shoulders down towards her feet, one after the other, just kind of warming up that a little bit more of the whole shoulder girdle. So I'm going to rock back and forth, and eventually I'm going to do both sides. And then I also like to rock like the pecs kind of down towards the table. So a little bit of like compression on the pecs. And I've just got thumbs towards the middle. You could do fingers both towards the middle or both out. It kind of just depends on what works for you. I think thumbs in is generally going to work for me. And I'm going down towards the table, and I guess a little bit down towards her feet as well. And then I'm going to hold and do it bilaterally, a bilateral press. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I've got this towel sling going on. And generally, this might just be my OCD, but I've just got the folded edge on the bottom. I don't know why, I really like that. And it's right underneath her occiput there. It's not like way down here, it's kind of scooped up and underneath the occiput. And then I'm going to grab the towel very slowly, just lifting up the head. And I'm going to rotate back and forth. Sometimes this can really feel really nice and like the head is just floating for clients. And some people are not able to let go and trust. So then I just move on. I'm just like, well, that's just not going to work. So we'll just move on. Okay. Now let's do a couple stretches though. So there's 3 different positions, stretches that you can kind of do. So you can do nose to shoulder. Yeah, kind of nose to the top of the shoulder, but then I'm not sure. Then you can do a little bit more. What are we going to call this one? Nose to armpit? We'll call it that. And then I can do ear to shoulder. All right, and I'm gonna, instead of using my hands, I'm just gonna use this handy dandy towel because that works really good. So the first thing I'm gonna do is nose to shoulder, and now I'm gonna drop one side, and then I can either cross my hands or I can just use different hands here. This is usually what I do. And I'm gonna rock the boat again. So this one's going down, head is going across, shoulder goes down, head goes across, and I'm just, you know what, the stretch that I'm headed towards, so I'm just warming up in each direction here. And once I've warmed it up, then I can go 50-50 in both directions. So it's called a 50-50 stretch because it's like you were going 100% here and 100% here, but when you use both ends, that's 50-50. Like do 100% on both, or you'll rip their neck off. Now, the nice thing that if I've got her head laying here, generally the weight of the head is going to hold this towel down. So that's why I can drop that other end. So I could also do, I could do the same thing on the other side, which we won't do that right now because we're going to be doing it all together in a moment. So I could put a little bit more of this movement in her head. So now we've got a little bit more nose to armpit. Once again, I can do this rocking the boat, kind of warming up the stretch, which is already a little warmed up from what we're doing, so I don't have to do it quite as long, and then 50-50. I'm going to move her head, nose to shoulder, a little bit more like that. Same thing. Rock the boat. This is, at this point of the massage, I really hope that you have spoken to your client about neck range of motion because you don't want to just start moving their neck around in these stretches if they've got, like, I can't turn my head, they're going to be crying. So once again, just make sure that you have talked to your client about what you're going to be doing. Okay, so then ear to shoulder, we've done that stretch. And then we would do on the opposite side, which I'm not going to demo because we're all going to do that again. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do some traction. So for that, I'm going to snug this folded edge of the towel right up under her occiput. And then I like to wrap the towel around the face pretty good, because if you do some traction, you got your hands way out here, you start pulling back, then their head is just going to floop out. Okay, that is the official term, flooping. There shall be no flooping. Okay, so instead I'm going to wrap their head really good, and then I've got really good control of their head. Like I can move it wherever I want. A lot of times I'll even take my thumbs and put it on the forehead. And then the direction that I'm headed is kind of up and back. So behind me where the ceiling and the wall meet, like that's where I'm headed. That's the direction I'm going. Once again, leaning back with my whole body. I like to do just a little traction, and then I check in with the client. How is that, client?
Good.
Do you love it? Do you want more?
Yes, please.
Okay. Most people do, but I have had a couple people in my career that they didn't like the traction. They felt it like pulled on their neck and was hurting. And then once again, we are not, or just to clarify, we are not trying to pop their neck or do any sort of adjustment. We're just getting some traction in, and we're just trying to create some space and do a stretch. Okay, so you're not trying to do like a real sharp pull. I don't recommend that. That is not within your scope of practice. Okay, the last move for the neck that we're going to do is I like to take one hand under the occiput, and this hand is going to pull it back, so we've got traction again. And then I'm going to take this hand, if it's accessible, and if you feel like it is okay and comfortable for your client, I'm going to take this hand. The ulnar side is going to go on the breastbone, sternum, thank you. And that's going to go down a little bit. So we're just kind of creating a little bit of space here in this upper quadrant. So my top hand is going down towards her feet. My hand under the head is going up. So we're just kind of, and it's a subtle movement. And I might go with, since I'm on the top of her breastbone, I might just go with her breath. So I'm going to wait for a deeper breath. And then on the exhale, down with one hand, up with the other hand. It's not a big movement.